Ja, die Situation für Jamal ist natürlich was.
Yeah, the situation with Jamal
Es war natürlich schon ein bisschen emotional, weil wir haben das alle
was
gesehen.
very emotional because we all saw what happened
Und
and it didn't look good.
deswegen wünschen wir natürlich, dass es vielleicht nicht so schlimm
That
ist.
is why we hope that it is not as bad as it looked, and we hope
Richtig verlaufen.
that everything goes well and that he receives the best possible medical treatment.
Und ja, und sonst, ich weiß nicht, es gibt immer
And besides all of that, I mean, there are
Persönlichkeit ist, dass
different personality types. And
dass die Motivation
me personally, I always feel an increased willingness to win. My motivation is higher.
reingehen in die Kabine,
We want to be rewarded because we do not go into the dressing room and we say
dass es heute, dass die Jungs nicht performt haben, das können wir
that they didn't perform well. No, we cannot tell them that.
uns nicht belohnt, weil die Leistung hat vielleicht,
Unfortunately,
das war genau die Leistung, die wir
we weren't rewarded, but not because of our performance or a lack of performance. This is football.
das Spiel genau gebracht haben, wo
And then there is always this last moment where we put everything onto the pitch. They made mistakes. They were administered
noch eine zweite
2 red cards and then a second mistake.
vielleicht das Einzige, was schade ist, ist die
And maybe the only thing that saddens me or annoys me
noch die
is that
zu bekommen, weil es
we didn't really use the last 2 chances. But you know, at the end of the day, this is football. We knew that it was going to be a match where details were important, and this is exactly what happened.
2-0 sein.
It could be 2-0 for us, but now we didn't come up on top.
Ein Spiel von sehr, sehr hoher Intensität auf jeden Fall.
It was a high-intensity match and very high level. Christian Falk.
Sehr viel darüber gesprochen, wie frustrierend
Vincent,
die letzte Saison mit den vielen Verletzten.
we talked about how frustrating it was to have so many injured players during the last season and that influenced Champions League. Now you had to bring Musiala out and a few other players. Are you frustrated? And how are you going to plan the next season?
Passiert,
This is a fact. I'm not annoyed.
dafür zu sorgen, dass es nicht
It happened,
da
but we try to make sure that it doesn't happen.
Objektivität zu schauen.
This is why we need to stay calm.
Ich muss
We
sagen,
need to stay objective.
nicht viel dafür, dass Jamal sich verletzt heute. Und
But obviously, this was an accident, what happened with Musiala.
in diesem Moment ein bisschen Glück haben. Muss
And you have to have luck on your side. To be honest, you cannot control every single thing. This happened,
vorab
I think it was 3 minutes before the end of the first half, or 1 minute before the end of the first half. I saw many things in my career, and everything has to go smoothly, and it was just too bad for us and unfortunate for Jamal. Not good.
Yes, second row, please. Yeah.
Hi, Vincent. Oliver Kay from The Athletic. Nice to see you. You mentioned it was emotional for the players. Could you just talk a little bit about how hard that was at half-time for you and for the technical staff and for the players? And also just, do you have any details at the moment about the medical situation?
Yeah, it was tough. I've rarely been so angry at halftime. Not against my players, not against, but just because, it's you know, there's many things in life that are important, much more important than this. So, but in the end, for these guys, it's their life. It's their life, and someone like Jamal lives for this, and he came back from a setback, and then it happens in the way it happens, and you feel powerless. But the idea for the group and for us is always to gain strength out of it. We were in the game, the team was doing well, the team was fighting, and the second half I felt we were just starting to edge the game, and it looked like, you know, it could happen any time for us. So you try and get strength out of it because you want to do it for Jamal, but of course it's when I'm sat here next to you now, the thing that gets my blood still boiling at the moment, it's not the result. I understand this is football, but it's the fact that you know, it happened to someone that's one, enjoys the game so much, but also very important for us. Yeah, it didn't look good, and I don't know if if I'm just watching the images, you've probably seen it. It looks like an ankle injury of some time, but I'm not going to make a diagnosis here.
Last one, Klaus Bergmann, once again.
Klaus Bergmann again.
Können Sie noch kurz sagen, wann geht's jetzt nach Hause?
Mr. Kompany, when are you going back home?
Nach dem Urlaub versammeln oder
And when are you going to regroup the team after the holiday? We go home tomorrow and then we have 3 weeks off. Yeah, we can't give them fewer weeks off. I know some players started to prepare, but what is important is that they recover mentally, that they can take some time off to get their head free, especially also the boys who are in the national squad, that we can regain our energy, really digest and process everything that we experienced.
Thank you very much.
And take the next step.
From Chile, TVN. I wanted to ask you, because you had a coach, Manuel Pellegrini, and I wanted to know if you learned something about him as a coach. Now you're a coach. And one question about a Chilean player playing in Argentina, Independiente, who is called Felipe Loyola. In Chile and Argentina, everybody is saying that is coming to Bayern Munich, the new Vidal, the new Arturo Vidal. Is that true? Do you know him? Thank you very much.
No, but about any transfers or anything, I have to be honest, my priority has been on the tournament. And what did I learn of Manuel Pellegrini? I learned that if you believe in your attacking players, that you can win trophies and that you can kill a lot of teams. So the first year he came to Man City, where I was playing with him, I was playing with him as a coach. I think we had one of the most attacking team I've ever played in, and many teams couldn't handle this type of all-out attacking mindset. So that was his mindset, and it was something I never experienced from any other coach before that.